It's me. It's Friday. I can't remember when I filmed last. It definitely wasn't yesterday. I was not feeling very well. I was a little bit stressed, and also I wasn't feeling very well, and so I didn't really read either. So there wasn't really anything to update you about, but I'm still reading the Star Wars book, Light of the Jedi. I've got about 90 pages left. I'm hoping I'll finish it today. We're on to a new building. We're reading For Horse and Around, which is an intimidating book, which at this point I'm like not really loving this book. Also, there are a lot of characters here. It's hard to follow, like who's who doing what. I've never read a Star Wars book that I've really loved. I thought that this would be the one, but it's turning out not to be. So I'm like, you know what? I feel like I feel like this could count as an intimidating read. And then once I finish that, I can get on to like the book I chose specifically for that prompt. As long as we're still on it. Jeez, I haven't even looked. Oh God. Oh no. Oh, shit. We're on to the games. Jeez. Okay, well, I don't know what I'm doing then. Didn't lug a single book for that prompt. Oh, Jesus. Well, anyway, part of why I'm here is because I wanted to tell you that I have officially, like, kind of broken my rules that I set for myself for my Read What You Own challenge. Because Zach and I went out to have lunch today, and I've got to make it quick here. I gotta go pick up my kids. Well, my one kid and my neighbor kids from school. And anyways, Zach and I went to eat lunch today. He got home from work early and was like, would you like to have lunch? We don't really do that very often. We've actually like are really like eat at home people because we meal prep and shit. But recently, like, he brought me home lunch the other day, and then today we went and ate some Mexican food at this little place called Panchitos, which is like, they have like the cheapest lunch. It was less than $30 for us both to have lunch, which is unheard of here. Like, I don't know where else we could do that. That isn't like getting fucking dollar menu shit somewhere, you know? Value menu, because it's not even $1, you know, eating at fast food. But, oh, and then on our way home, we drove past the library, and he's like, do you know stop at the library? And I was like, yeah, I do. And so we're walking through the stacks, and then there's like the shelves that I guess they have up all year that are some for the like used library sale stuff, which I've never looked through when it's not set up as like the Friends of the Library sale, which is like a separate section that they do that in. I was like, oh, interesting. So I was looking through it, and guess what I fucking saw? Lost Souls by Poppy C. Bright, which I was just talking about how worried I was when it comes time for me to find this book that it will be like I won't be able to find a nice copy. It'll be overpriced. This really needs to be like washed off a little bit. It's kind of got some grime on it, but it's in really nice condition. Otherwise, it's got a little like bend in the cover, but like otherwise it looks so nice. Like the spine's all intact. It doesn't feel like it's been opened. I can't believe it. I found this for 50 cents. And then so I was like, well, since I'm buying that, I also looked and I found a copy of Brain by Robin Cook, which is like a sci-fi thriller horror. I know Robin Cook does these weird like kind of medical horror books. Anyway, I should include that Lost Souls is like a vampire music book. Musical vampires. I think they're in a band. Oh my God. One of the characters here is in a couple short stories in Wormwood. Ghost. Okay, well that's very interesting. That's really cool. Okay. I fucking love that. I'm so glad that I read Wormwood now. Okay, and then Brain is about a young woman who died on the operating table and had her brain secretly removed. It says Martin Phillips and Denise Sanger, doctors and lovers, find it possible to explain the rash of female patients exhibiting bizarre mental breakdowns and shocking sexual behaviors. Okay, so it sounds really weird and kooky. This one's not in as good of condition, but it's like for 50 cents. I'd like to read it, you know? And I also found, I've been hunting down some of Patricia Cornwell's older Case Scarpetta books, so I picked up All That Remains, which I don't know what number in the series this is. Maybe number 3? I don't know. Another one where it's like for 50 cents. Why not? And I really love these, like, I don't know if they're the first edition mass markets that they printed, but at least like they're some of the earlier ones that they did through Avon. First Avon printing. Yeah. Oh, there's a note in here. It says, here's your something book. Easter book? Maybe? I only hope you enjoy her as much as I have. Just let me know so I can come, just let me know so that I can either continue or make her all the list. Enjoy, Jenny. Anyway, that's kind of cool. I love when I find stuff like that. Although I can't really read the note very well. Anyway, so, okay, that's my update for today. I have to go read through this announcement. I have to see if my book that I'm reading fits. Because honestly, if it doesn't, I might just fucking DNF this book. I might just DNF this book. Because I don't really like it. I don't really like where it's gone. It was really interesting. It was like so interesting at first, but now that I've kind of figured out what's happening, I just don't really care to see it to the end, I feel like. Even with, I've been reading and listening to the audio, and I've got 90 pages left. It's an almost 400 page book, and I don't really love it, so I don't know. I will check in with you tomorrow and let you know how things went. I've got to leave in a couple minutes, so I gotta wrap things up. And I've got some shit in store for you, you guys. I've got a Nightworms package I need to share with you. Zach also took me to Barnes & Noble the other day. I'm really considering that a gift, because what do you say when someone surprises you with a trip to Barnes & Noble? Like, I say no? Do I say no? I don't fucking think I do. But either way, like, even though I've bought a few books, but the Read What You Want challenge, I'm going to finish that out. I'm still gonna try to, you know, read my however many books. But I was also thinking, because I was looking through, there are like 2 books that I've read like a significant amount of that, and then I DNF'd that I didn't count. And when I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why would I not count that? So I think I'm gonna add those to my total. There is also another one that I DNF'd that I'm not, because I only read like 25 pages. So I'm gonna add those 2 to my total, see what my total's at. See, you know, and see you tomorrow, I guess, is the end of this fucking video. See you tomorrow. Good. Bye. Hello again, friends. It is Saturday evening. I've had a busy fucking day. My sister-in-law helped clean, well, we didn't really clean it out, but we had to help move, we had to move some furniture for my mother-in-law because she broke her knee, right? And she's in the process of like moving. So we had to move some shit from her storage unit to where she's living, and it was like, and then I had another sister-in-law's baby shower this afternoon, which honestly, don't fucking like baby showers. I mean, not that I'm not happy for them and happy to be like, oh yay, celebrate them, but like I just don't fucking like baby showers. I don't like sitting around talking about baby stuff and playing games and things like that. Kind of a curmudgeon maybe, but it's just very taxing. And then so it's like I had to do these 2 things that I didn't really want to do today, and now it's late and my day is gone. And anyway, I've been reading The Watcher by Lael Littke. It's a point horror book. It's for the game prompt that we're on right now. There's 2 game prompts. I can't tell you what they are because I have to keep it mysterious. But this is what I'm reading for that. I'm only about 50 pages in. So far, it's about a girl named Catherine who's really obsessed with this soap opera, like super obsessed with it. Like she leaves school on her lunch break to go to like an appliance store to watch it and then go back to school. Like that's how obsessed she is. Now I think somebody is like watching her. So it's like the Watcher is watching the Watcher, which is kind of fun, right? So it's good so far. I don't really know what's gonna happen. I feel like possibly I could get this read tonight, maybe, if my brain's cooperative, if I feel like it. You know, I don't want to make myself feel stressed. But so when I'm done with that, I'm gonna pick something out for the next game prompt, which I can't tell you what it is, but maybe if I find the book or a book, maybe you'll be able to maybe guess. I don't know. I haven't really looked over to see what I might choose for this yet. So and actually this is one where it's kind of personal, a little bit personal. And so, because for me, I like a lot of these things, a lot of this specific thing, and it really gives me a lot of choices, I feel like. So let me look at my cases. Let me give them a good look and I'll let you know what I pick. All right, so I picked out 2 choices for myself. The first one is Wormwood by Chad Lutzke and Tim Meyer. This is like I think a coming of age story. I think a boy gets bullied. Okay, let me just synopsis instead of just guessing. Okay, so it says, for some kids, Long Lake, Georgia is home. But for 14-year-old Baker Gray, it's just another stop, another town, in another state. Because of his mother's nomadic lifestyle, he's never had a best friend, never kissed a girl, and he's certainly never met anyone like Cassandra Larson, the enigmatic older girl whose idea of fun blurs the line between right and wrong. Being hopelessly led by emotions he's never felt, Baker finds himself plodding along dark paths paved by the girl he thinks he may love, a road to self-destruction where vigilante justice is encouraged and bloodshed is an art form. So I don't know if like bullying necessarily, but seems like they might do something hurtful to somebody. And then I also picked up Lycanthropy and Other Chronic Illnesses by Kristen O'Neill. This is about a girl who meets another girl online. Priya is set to go to medical school but has to drop out because she finds out she has Lyme disease and meets someone online, Bridget, but then suddenly Bridget is like offline and like this is strange and Priya is like concerned, so she goes to where Bridget lives and chaos ensues. I think we can maybe guess what happened here by the title. Bridget might be a werewolf, possibly. So both of these sound really good. Both of these match the prompt. I guess it probably depends on how I'm feeling after I finish The Watcher, whether I want something longer, something that might be shorter but maybe more hard-hitting. I'm still fucking reading Light of the Jedi. I'm almost done with it, but really, I don't know. And then hopefully I can find something to log it for at some point. Since it doesn't fit any of these game prompts, hopefully it'll fit another either building prompt or if we unlock another building, another game prompt. Hopefully, I hope. And then, should we open my Nightworms package? I have already opened it, but should I tell you about the Nightworms package for this month? I'm very excited about this one. The books inside are very... So the prompt, oh god, what is it called now? The theme this month was Bury Your Secrets. This is May's Nightworms package. And, oh, the first book, I'm so excited about this. This is The Day of the Door by Laurel Hightower. If I finish my Read What You Want challenge before July, I'm for certain reading this in my birthday month. Okay, so the synopsis for this says, once there were 4 Lasco siblings banded together against a world that failed to protect them. But on a hellish night that marked the end of their childhood, eldest brother Sean died violently after being dragged behind closed doors. Though the official finding was an accidental death, Nathan Lasco knows better and has never forgiven their mother Stella. Now, 2 decades later, Stella promises to finally reveal the truth of what happened on the Day of the Door. Accompanied by a paranormal investigative team, the Lasco family comes together one final time, but no one is prepared for the revelations waiting for them on the 3rd floor. So, oh my god, this sounds so great. The paranormal investigation part of it, the like family secrets, the what is truth and what is not, the parents versus child, like whose history is the real history, you know, whose history of events is right. So I don't know if this is like found footagey. I don't want to flip through it and like accidentally spoiled myself. So I don't know if this is found footagey or what, I don't know. It's giving me almost Head Full of Ghost vibes. I don't know. We'll have to see, huh? I'm really excited about this. This is one of my like, most anticipated books of the year. I'm so stoked that it was included in a Nightworms package this month. And then the next book is Indian Burial Ground by Nick Medina. Let me read the synopsis. To you, all Noemi Broussard wanted was a fresh start. With a new boyfriend who actually treats her right, and a plan to move from the reservation she grew up on, just like her beloved Uncle Louis before her, things are finally looking up for Noemi, until the news of her boyfriend's apparent suicide brings her world crumbling down. But the facts about Roddy's death just don't add up, and Noemi isn't the only one who suspects that something menacing might be lurking within their tribal lands. After over a decade away, Uncle Louis has returned to their reservation, bringing with him a past full of secrets, horror, and what might be the key to determining Roddy's true cause of death. Together, Noemi and Louis set out to find answers, but as they get closer to the truth, Noemi begins to wonder whether it might be best for some secrets to remain buried. Yes, and also, look at this. Oh, beautiful. I love when the hardcover matches the color scheme of the dust jacket. Really killing it. Nick Medina is an Indigenous author, and he also wrote Sisters of the Lost Nation, which I haven't read, but I heard really great things about, so I'm excited to read this. Beautiful cover too, with this, I don't know what kind of lizard it is. What are those desert lizards that I'm thinking of? Now I have to look it up. What am I thinking of? The like banded orange and black ones. We have them here. What are they fucking called? A Gila monster? I don't know if I'm thinking of that. Is that what I'm thinking of? I feel like I would have just said a Gila monster. But I think maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Although I was picturing something more banded. But maybe they also are sometimes banded instead of mottled. Anyway, some sort of desert lizard. The cover. Fuck. Okay, so then also the goodies. Alright, so inside we've got book plates from Nick Medina. It says Gators Don't Chew. Whatever that means, I'm interested to find out. We've got one from Laurel Hightower. I love this book plate. It has gross little worms on it. There is a sticker that says read in peace. There's a tombstone, and then underneath it is like a little ghost in its grave, reading peacefully, of course. And then also a magnet. I like this magnet. It's like a cute skull surrounded by like some like leafy stuff, flowers, a moth, some mushrooms, etc. And then also some tea. Love it. I love the tea. This is The Undying Thirst of the Vampire, vanilla cream and blood orange. This sounds really good. This is from Riddle Tea Shop. And then of course the bookmark from Inksmith. Cool. And then, okay, just to go over the spoiler card. Indian Burial Ground, The Day of the Door, Read in Peace graphic, Spring Skull graphic, that must be the magnet, Bury Your Secrets bookmark, and Vampire Tea. So, that is the Nightworms package. This is my Saturday check-in. Tomorrow's Mother's Day. I really don't know what I'm doing. Will I check in? Maybe. Yeah, maybe if I finish a book or something. Maybe if I finish The Watcher, or if there's any other stuff to tell you about. But otherwise, I'll see you when I see you, okay? Goodbye. Hello again, my friends. It is Tuesday. I've had a busy couple days. My hair is kind of a mess. I did a bunch of yard work this morning. I hate yard work. I think the chore I would rather do the least. My least favorite kind of chore. Fucking hate yard work. Yeah, so Sunday was Mother's Day. I didn't film anything. And then yesterday, I just had a busy day. I was trying to get some shit done. I had some errands to run. I really needed to clean my kitchen, so I did that. And then the evening was my daughter's honor orchestra concert, so that took up a lot of our evening. Boy, it was crazy. They're like, get there at 6:15, you know, so we get there earlier than 6:15 because it is a huge event where there are more than 1,000 students, right? So 1,000 students plus more than 1,000 parents, you know what I mean? And people that they brought with. So it's so many fucking people. You have to get there early in order to like park, walk to the arena, and then find a place to sit. So we get there probably around 6, and then it doesn't even start until 7. Oh my god, so it was pretty killer. I did get some reading in while I was waiting, but boy, like, proud of those kids. And I understand why they have to be there so early. However, wish those goddamn kids could bring themselves, because it is a long time to wait, especially when you're used, like Zach, he goes to bed at like 8 o'clock, you know, so he is there trying to stay awake next to me the whole time. Poor dude. So I didn't really have time to film yesterday, but I've got a lot to tell you about today. In fact, I forgot a book, so let me go grab that. So I think it was Sunday that I finished reading The Watcher by Lael Littke. This did fit a prompt that I was reading, and then I had on camera picked out 2 other books that I thought were going to fit game prompts. And then the game got finished more quickly than I got finished reading The Watcher. So, man, I mean, there's a lot of people reading, obviously. There's a lot of people involved in this readathon, but some of these people are just reading so many fucking books. It's wild. So I know that also I'm not necessarily picking shorter books to read. I'm reading things that I want to read that fit the prompts. So I could be reading, you know, shorter things purposely, but I'm choosing to read things I want to also. But anyway, this was about, I think I told you what this is about. Catherine, who's obsessed with a soap opera, and then the thing, there's someone who is recreating the situations in the soap opera and mimicking them in real life, in Catherine's life, and who's doing this and why. And you know what? I really liked this. I liked this better than the other point horror or point thriller, the other point book by Littke that I read called The Prom Dress. I like this one better. I mean, the prom dress was good too, but this one I really liked. I enjoyed the soap opera aspect of it. There's a lot of red herrings. You're like, ooh, who could it be? You know, there are plausible explanations for like the red herrings too. It's like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. It definitely is that person. And then guess what? It's not. So I finished that on Sunday. Then we unlocked the building we're in, and the game prompt for that is a little bit different, and it's like time-based, I guess is a way to explain it without giving too much away. So we have a certain amount of time to do a certain amount of things. So I had started listening to Everything's Eventual by Stephen King for a different prompt, but we unlocked that building, and the audiobook that I had for some reason only read 5 of the stories. So I finished listening to that, and then I was like, oh, what am I gonna do with this book, I wonder, because we had unlocked that building, and then this next game prompt, this time-based game prompt was unlocked, and I was like, oh, this is kind of perfect. So I can count what I have not read towards that, or what I've read since the game prompt has been unlocked towards that. So I don't know what that is at this point. I have it in my phone, but where did I put my phone? Over here. I think at this point it's like, maybe read like 100 pages yesterday of Everything's Eventual. Do you ever eat like too much fibrous vegetables or fruit? Like, I think I ate too much broccoli at lunch and it's making my stomach hurt. But sometimes this also happens to me with apples. Like if I eat a whole apple and nothing else, sometimes my stomach hurts. I don't know why that is. Yeah, so I read like 99 pages yesterday in Everything's Eventual. I'm going to continue on, see how much I can read of this in the time that we have. This is a short story collection, which I always do tend to read a little bit differently than a novel because my brain wants to break it up. For some reason, I can't just like read it all the way through like it's a typical novel. So I've also been reading Escape Room by Megan Goldin, which was been on my TBR cart, and I was like, wow, this is kind of the perfect readathon to read this for. So I'm about 200 pages into this. This is really keeping my interest. This is about this group of people who work in like investment banking. So it's like a really high stress corporate setting, and they get called into the office like at a really strange hour. You have to come in. You have to come in. And they're like, but like also they know that they have to come in. You know, so they come in, and their supervisor, I don't know if they have said exactly what position this guy has, but he is some sort of supervisor, but he ends up getting wrapped up in this with him. So I'm not really sure exactly. Anyway, this guy tells him they have to do this escape room. And they're like, what? This is very weird. You know, they work like a corporate, they make like large salaries in a corporate setting. They're like a fucking escape room. So they are locked in an elevator and they're trying to escape the escape room. But it might not be quite what it seems. And then also, so you're with this group of people in the escape room, and then also there's this POV of a former employee named Sarah who at one point worked for this company as well, and you don't really know why she's a former employee, but I'm really interested in getting to the bottom of that as well. So all in all, I like Sarah's POV. I really like the POV of the group in the elevator. the elevator escape room, and I'm interested to see where it goes. It seems like there might be some sort of, I don't know if I should say it, but I'm really liking this so far, and it's really tying into the vibes of this readathon nicely, I think. So it's been a lot of fun. And I don't know if I have time right now to go into these. Maybe I'll just tell you, hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. First of all, I'm gonna sneeze. Okay, I'm back from sneezing. Maybe I'll just tell you what I got from Barnes & Noble in case you've been hanging off the edge of your seat waiting for me to talk about it. Oh, wait, I thought there were, didn't I get, isn't there another book? Oh no, how did I do this to myself? I don't even remember if there's another book. Oh, yes. It's just that I read it, so I put it away. Hold on again. Jesus, what's wrong with me? You know what? I'm too lazy to get it down. I bought a copy of Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. I went with the intention, well, like, I didn't intend to go anyway, but Zach brought me as a treat. And how do you say no when someone does that? You know what I mean? It was very sweet of him, and I didn't want to say no. I could have said no, but one, that's a lot of, like, what do you call it? Self-control that I don't have. And two, it was just such a nice, sweet thing of him that I didn't want to be like, no. So I bought a couple books, one being Ghost Station by S.A. Barnes. And then when I went in there, I was like, you know what? This is the perfect opportunity to pick up some books that I've read recently that I really want to add to my collection. And then I couldn't find fucking any of them. The horror section, it looked the same. I swear to God, it looked, there were the same books there as when I went there last November. I don't know what's going on with that, but like I didn't really see any new releases at all, like even ones that I hadn't read. I think there was like one other book that I recognized that was a new release, but it's not one that I was really interested in, so I didn't buy it. But I did find a copy of Ghost Station, so I bought that, but it's like I'd have to get my stepladder is in another room. I'd have to go get it, and then also it's like on one of the stacks, and then I just don't want to do it. So I bought that, and then I bought some other books. I've really been interested in reading Eliza Clark's books. So listen, I spent a lot of time going over just the general fiction section this time, which I don't usually do because I usually go straight to the horror and I'm like, what can I find? But I spent quite a bit of time, not quite as much time as I'd like to have, because I also do feel bad when somebody is waiting on me. I can't spend 3 hours there like I'd like to. So I spent a little bit of time looking over it, but I found 2 of Eliza Clark's books. I'm not sure if these are the only 2 she's written or if these are just the only 2 I've heard of, but there are Boy Parts and Penance, both by Eliza Clark. She writes, as far as I've heard, kind of like harder hitting lit fic. So I am excited about this. This is about a decade after a horrifying murder where a teenage girl was set on fire. Don't know much more about it. And then this is about a woman who takes explicit photographs of average looking men. It says she's invited to display her work at a fashionable gallery. It triggers a self-destructive tailspin. But I've heard really good things about this. I was stoked to find a copy of it, stoked to find a copy of Penance, and then buy them, and then I'm gonna read them. And I also picked up one of Otessa Moshfoot. Oh my gosh, I'm not really sure how to say her last name. Moshfoot. My mouth just like does not want to make these sounds. Otessa Moshfeg's books. They did have more than one there to choose from, but I chose Lapvana because this one sounds fucking weird. I think I'm not sure if this is her most recent. I'm not sure if it's this one or like My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I can't remember. This is about, I don't know, but it has like religious vibes to it. Something about like maybe weird miracles happening and stuff like that. So I am very interested in this. Have been for quite some time. And I'm trying to buy books that I'm interested in when I'm interested in them, and then reading them when I'm interested in them. So look forward to hearing about that in the coming months. And I also found a copy of Acts of Desperation by Megan Nolan. This is about a woman. It's about a woman who is in a relationship with an older man, and this is another book where it's like women being self-destructive, women having secret, shameful cravings in this. I've heard another one that I've heard about, I've been interested in, partly because of the butt cheeks on the cover. And I was really kind of excited when I saw this. I was like, oh, that book. I've heard of that book. Maybe another weird girl book, possibly. Okay, and then the final one is Three Body Problem by Cixin Liu, I think you say his name. This recently got adapted on Netflix, and I've been so interested in it. And I watched it and I was like, holy shit, this is wild. So I wanted to read the book. Unfortunately, I couldn't find one that didn't say coming to Netflix. I kind of hate that, but it is what it is, right? So this is a science fiction book where, I don't even know how to explain this, where it's like science stops working on our planet and scientists everywhere are like, what is happening? You do find out what's going on. I don't really know how far to go into it. But also there is this strange like virtual reality game that plays into it. The show was so really interesting. So I'm guessing that the book has got to be even more interesting, right? I'd really like to read this book. This is translated by Ken Liu, who is also a fantasy writer. Maybe fantasy sci-fi? I don't know. I know he's written a fantasy book for sure. I'm not sure what other genres he writes. So that is my little Barnes & Noble haul. And that's what I'm reading. Hopefully I will finish Escape Room today. It's really good. It's like I just really want to know what's gonna happen here. But also I really need to edit last week's vlog, which, oops. Oopsie doopsie. I just haven't had time to do that and also read. And I'm on a deadline for what we're doing right now. Okay, well anyway, talk to you later. Goodbye. Hey, it's me. It's Wednesday. I'm sitting here because I was just filming here. Well, I was filming here like a couple hours ago and I had to go do some stuff. Now I'm here again. I'm a little bit sweaty because I was just cutting up tree limbs. I was cutting tree limbs up into small pieces so I can put them in our recycling, or green recycling. Anyway, I have about an hour and 20 minutes to finish as much of this book so I can submit it for the game prompt we're on, because I have to finish it by 4:20. So it's actually exactly 100 pages. So I'm gonna try to do that. And can I? I think I can. I also finished today The Escape Room by Megan Goldin, so I submitted that. That was 356 pages. If I can also finish this, I'm not sure how many pages that'll be total, but I think maybe like between 200 and 300. So not bad for 48 hours of reading. Anyway, I'm going to do that right now, and I will check back with you. I'm gonna set a timer for like 4:10 so that I can submit that before time runs out. Hello again. It is much later. It is 6:30. So I did barely squeak in the rest of Everything's Eventual by Stephen King for the game prompt we were doing. The end of the 48 hours, it was at exactly 4:20, and I finished at 4:17 what I needed to read, and that also finished up Everything's Eventual for me. So in total, with what I read in Everything's Eventual, because I didn't read all of it, and what I read in the escape room, that brought me to 611 pages I read in 48 hours. So that's pretty good. Next building we're doing is Popcorn Read, and I was originally thinking I was going to pick up some volumes of Saga, but I think I'm going to read something that I'm not going to reread something. I think I'm going to read something that I haven't read before. So I'm thinking maybe I'll pick up, I don't know if I'm going to start with this, but I'm thinking maybe I'll pick up a Goosebumps. I'm thinking maybe I'll pick up, where are ya? I have here the next two volumes of Blood on the Tracks that I haven't read, also volumes 5 and 6. It's supposed to be like fun reads, right? And I'm just thinking of something that is easy, quick, enjoyable when I think of a popcorn read. I don't know which one I'll start with. I honestly kind of want to read Blood on the Tracks because I've been meaning to pick these up and haven't. And so I think I'm going to do that. So I think that's my plan. I don't know if I'll read anything else this evening, but if I do, there it is. And then after those, move on to Goosebumps number 5, The Curse of the Mummy. And we'll check back in with you maybe tomorrow.